All right, you magnificent bastards, it's time for
Hard core whiskey.
We invited one of our favorite tasting experts to come and experience a gauntlet of mile-high proofs, big, bold, brash flavors, acquired tastes for advanced whiskey drinkers. He travels the world, tasting his way through remote locations, trying to find beautiful flavors to bring back home. But his expertise is one of subtlety, of nuance, of layered complexity. What is our favorite tea expert going to think about hardcore whiskeys, according to the Magnificent Bastards?
That is.
Give me a clap.
That is damn.
In my head, like, how do I categorize someone? Flavor master. And I know you would never. Say that about yourself.
I definitely wouldn't call myself a flavor master. Except maybe on Halloween in the future, that will be my alter ego. Will be the flavor master.
Yes. We need some hardcore whiskeys. I'm talking big, bold flavors, high proof. Done. What do you consider hardcore? And I want to take Sohan through this journey, and specifically I want to get your flavors, your experiences, your notes, and yours, coming from kind of the noob into the spectrum to somebody that does this day in, day out as a career. Okay.
Yes.
How often do you drink? If I remember, it's not incredibly often.
I drink more this year because of knowing you guys than I have in a long time. But just like, it's good though, because if I'm going to drink, I want to drink something really nice. And hardcore kind of is like a byword for like, this is really nice. Because if it's off-putting in some way, like, well, for like, if it's off-putting in some way, but people still like it, it must be really, really good deep down. And there's like foods in China that are like, they're stinky tofu, smells like poop, but it's really good. And I can't explain why it's good. It does smell like poop. It is really good. It's got to be good enough to smell like poop and people still want to eat it. When it's not, it's like poop flavored tofu. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Right, this first whiskey, go ahead and nose it and taste it. And if you need some tips on how to approach it, let me know.
So like, is this cask strength? Is that what that means?
Yes. I want you guys going blind, fresh. Just what are you experiencing? There's no right or wrong answers. Just what jumps to the top of mind. What are the flavors? What are the notes? Like, what is it like?
Chocolatey, maple syrupy. Okay. Not maple. No. Molassesy syrup.
Pecan pie.
Oh, okay. Yes.
On the taste, what do you guys got?
All right.
Whatever you do, Brianna, don't cough. He wants us to cough. Cheers.
Right.
We're not gonna cough.
We're not gonna cough.
I'm totally gonna cough.
I'm gonna cough.
Wow. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's like all the flavor that was in the nose was on like a roller, like a paint roller, and it just rolled across my tongue and down my throat.
Oh,
okay.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. There's all these different parts of the flavor that are hitting different parts of my mouth. Yeah, I'm getting peppery.
Yeah, peppery and even a little salty.
You know, baijiu is what they drink in China, and it's like 130 proof. Like regular old style, just like you go to the market, to the where you buy your vegetables, and there's a dude with the urns, plastic water bottle, recycled plastic water bottle, 130 proof. It's like a pecan pie, like a bourbon pecan pie, but just the bourbon part.
You are right, this is bourbon, and funny you should mention like 130 proof. This is 136 proof.
Oh,
This is
Elijah Craig.
This is Elijah
All
Craig. 68% alcohol.
Yes, certainly. That would burn. That would set on fire.
Yeah. So to give you some context, a bourbon cannot go into a barrel at more than 125 proof. This is a bourbon, but in the States, especially in our warmer climate, the water is actually one of the first things to evaporate with the angel share. So the proof can rise in a barrel. Now in other climates, other countries, that's not necessarily the case, but in the States, we can have the proof rise in the barrel.
Fantastic.
Perks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's just okay. They're just like, oh, well, it happened naturally. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sell it. Here you go, Elijah Craig.
All right, ready for next one?
Yeah.
What are we finding on the nose of the next one here?
Okay.
Somewhat similar
This is
sweetness, but with like a dustiness on top.
You know those balloons that you used to get at parties that were in a tube and you had a straw and you'd stick the straw stuff on and blow up the balloon?
Yeah.
That.
Oh, yeah, if you get deep in there, I can smell that too, yeah. Like a Sprite syrup
Ooh.
Okay.
with some sawdust.
She is really good at this.
Yes,
Very
thank
good
you.
at this.
How does it taste compared to what you guys are finding on the nose?
Oh.
Bright, fruity, kind of burst, nectarine or something.
Yeah, and then like a spice at the end.
Very different.
Damn it.
All right, this is another very, very popular whiskey. This is Stag Junior. The proof is not going to be quite as aggressive at 132.3.
Still pretty
Mile
high.
Yeah, we're very high. Another straight bourbon whiskey. This is out of Kentucky. This is from the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
I know them.
It's got a great mouthfeel. A party in your mouth.
It's great. It's so good. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
a
go ahead and
punch.
finish it, or I can get...
Punch to the face. That's good. I'm not gonna finish this.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, he likes the steak.
Wow.
The third whiskey, whenever you guys are ready. What are you finding on the nose of this one?
Herbally.
Oh my God. Okay.
11 more to go. No.
It's grassy hay. There's
Yeah.
like a floral sweet.
It's not
Natural
sugary dessert.
flower.
It's not sugary or dessert sweet.
Yeah.
It's not like pecan pie or anything like that.
Okay.
It's
It's
definitely something-
wildflower.
Yeah, like a wildflower.
Yeah.
Like a wildflower, like perfume. Like you took a wildflower and you put it in ethanol and you made perfume out of its like essence.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually really nuanced.
All right, what does it taste like? It's hardcore whiskey.
Oh,
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
yes.
It feels more chill to me than the last couple.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it not?
It's the
Am I?
same.
Am I?
It's
She's
less-
getting tossed around. That's what I'm laughing at.
It's less like of a bang in your mouth, but it's very like a fog machine kind of
Okay.
smoke. Yeah.
Like there's a rave in Brussels in your throat.
Alex, we need your rave passies.
They're quite chewed up.
Oh, no.
That's smooth though. It's like
nice.
a on the tongue feel. Smooth tongue.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Smooth tongue feel.
I agree.
Sticking to it.
And do you have a favorite out of the three that you've tried so far, or are they kind of, different, but there's not one that's jumping out as this is fantastic?
I like the second one the best, I think. Although
The
this
stag?
one is more drinkable.
It gets
Yeah.
easier every sip, but I agree. The stag would be
That's
my
one
favorite.
thing about, you're going through like a lineup of hardcore whiskeys. This compared to the first two, it's like, oh, this is the easy sipper. But
Right.
in and of itself, if you were drinking some 80 proof, 40% whiskeys, then that could probably take your head off.
Yeah.
So it's
Sure,
very much
sure.
about what is it being comparative against. This is a Knob Creek 25th anniversary. We're drifting down a little bit in the proof. This is still 60.85% alcohol.
This is great camping whiskey because it's that nice flat profile.
I want
Stick it
to
in your backpack.
go camping with you.
That would be awesome.
Hey.
All right, so what are we getting on the nose of this one?
Oh, there's some funk in this one.
I like it.
Maybe like
It is funky.
like a vinegary pickle. Grapefruit. Give me grapefruit in there.
Okay.
I don't have enough to go on with the nose. I'm gonna taste a little
Sure.
bit and see what happens.
What the hell is that?
Oaky.
Oaky, dirty.
I'm not sure if there's an equivalent thing in tea, but if you pour just a little bit, like a
Oh, yeah.
dime-sized,
Ooh.
maybe a quarter-sized in your hand, and then just rub through all that alcohol.
I have never done this before.
Okay.
This is new for me. Thank you.
Yeah, just a little bit of dampness and then go straight in.
That is funk.
Definitely like that vanilla almondy.
Almond for sure.
But basically, if you're in a situation where just the alcohol is front leading, you're struggling to find flavors past that, if you put a little on your hand and you just rub through it, what's left, the lingering notes on your hand, is going to be not alcohol, but all those other flavors that were hidden by the alcohol.
To me, it doesn't have as much complexity as any of the ones that came before it, but definitely not as much as the first two. And I might be confusing alcohol for complexity, but I definitely feel like those first two just were on a different echelon of being able to have an abundance of different notes and flavors. Like that blooming, thing. I don't get that from this.
This is like hot asphalt.
Going back.
It's
I got water now, so
tribute to it.
candy corn.
Candy corn.
Candy corn,
What?
right here, right
Wow.
here.
This is
Candy corn.
Del Bach out of Arizona. This is going to be a cask strength single malt. 59.05%. One, I love the distillery. They're always doing really interesting things over at Del Bach. A little bit of time between samples, because we're doing like back to back. A little bit of time, yeah. You want to have that space to breathe and let the palate recover before you dive into the next thing, especially when we're talking about high proof alcohol. And the way that I tell time is from our sponsor.
Hey.
Look at that transition.
It's time you heard about Original Grain. Now, you guys know me, I'm not super into designer clothes and fancy bling. I think the superficial flex lifestyle is supremely uninteresting.
What?
But you start incorporating things like whiskey barrel wood. This is no longer a superficial flex. This is interesting. Original Grain specializes in watches and rings inlaid with real whiskey barrel wood.
Wow.
They have several styles and designs. You want to be thinking about two things right now. One, which is going to be the style that's best going to match you. And then also, Father's Day is coming up. So maybe you've been phoning it in the last couple of years. You want to give the old man something interesting, but it doesn't break the bank. And it's not only whiskey barrels. They actually have beer barrel stuff, tequila barrel stuff. Obviously, I'm all up into the whiskey pieces, but actual inlaid wood from Taylor guitars, reclaimed wood from real ammo crates, if you know somebody that has a military background. And when you're using reclaimed elements like this, it means every single piece is unique. Original Grain has been making watches for nearly a decade now. They have over 20,000 five-star reviews, free shipping, and a generous warranty. There's a lot to like here. The link is in the description below. You want to jump on this pretty quick because for a limited time, you use code TRIBE at originalgrain.com/tribe and you get 30% off anything on the store.
Beautiful. On brand as
Yeah. Original Grains. Really cool stuff. Okay, the next one, shifting gears a little bit. We already shifted gears with the type of whiskey in the Del Bach.
Whoa.
This is my
Smoked.
This is my favorite so far. I haven't
Woody.
tasted this, and this is my favorite so far.
Yeah, light that force on
Yeah,
fire.
burn it down.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Saddle, leather gloves.
Old-fashioned cowboy grandpa.
Yeah, cool old-fashioned cowboy grandpa. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw something at you guys right before we go into the taste. Mossy mushroom.
Mossy mushroom.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
You get
No, I
that?
can see
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Like a
A
big
little
old
bit,
mushroom.
yeah.
Like
Like a mushroom you can sit on.
Yeah.
You know, like a mossy,
Fat shroom.
smoking a hookah mushroom, you know?
mushroom.
Saddled up that shroom.
Spanking each other with leather belts.
Oh my, what?
I'm not camping with you. It's nothing but ball gags in here. What are
No.
on the taste? What do we got?
Oh, that's nice. It was peppery,
Whoa.
like black pepper.
That is easier than I thought it was gonna be. That's warm.
It's
Warm
so
and
nice.
wood.
It's so nice. I really
That's-
love this.
wow.
Yeah.
The mossiness, a little bit of earthy quality comes through. Just little plants and plant.
It's like pu'er tea. It's like got that like earthy note. That in pu'er we talk about petrichor, the smell of the earth when it rains.
Yeah. All right, this is Dream of Scotland. That's a bit of a mystery because this is definitely an Islay Scotch. You like the Lefroy?
I do.
This is why you were right at home here. But this was bottled by a German company. Unclear which Islay distillery this came from. Some people think maybe Lagavulin.
It's a mystery?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't tell you. It's like the laws in Germany. You don't have to specify. And yeah.
Wow.
What's the proof on the bottom of that there? What do you think?
55.7.
This is what I would categorize as a whiskey that people would think of hardcore, not because of the burn or the intensity of the alcohol, but because those flavors, if you're used to just, sweet, creamy, buttery, simple, effortless flavors, something like this that is like briny and smoke and earthy and mossy, it can be really challenging. But if you're used to that, it's not hardcore at all.
This is like what I'm here drinking whiskey for. Yeah. Overall, like at the end of the day, like maybe I'm a sucker, but I'm a sucker for those smoky whiskeys, you know? And this one's, and it's balanced, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like not like overwhelming with smoke. It's everything is very balanced, very restrained and dialed into like right that middle of everything. And I think it's great. Thank you.
This one might be my favorite so far.
Yeah, I'd say it's a toss up between this and the Stag. They're very, very different. The volume is turned up on the Stag, right? But I think the mix is a little cleaner on this one. The mix is a little tighter on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Once again, I am joining you. I could not resist, but let's start with what you guys are finding on the nose and on the taste. If you need a minute to get some distance, by all means, take it. Banana, you got something.
Orange cream.
Yeah. Wow, that was so good. You're really good at this,
God, thank you so
Brianna.
much.
Yeah. I was someone who spends a lot of time trying to find tasting notes and things.
Wow, that comes up.
Oh, like almost like one of those dream pops.
Yes.
Dreamsicle.
Yes.
Dreamsicle, yeah.
Like a dreamsicle.
That
It's
is
so
nice.
great when someone points out something and it wasn't there before, and now it's there because
Yeah.
you can just identify it.
That's one of the most fun parts about drinking whiskey with other
Sure.
people
Yes.
is, you have your associations in your memory and the things that you referenced, but somebody will say something, you're like, how was I missing that? Of course, it's front and center. What did you get on the taste?
It's nice. It's very crisp. I'm getting this like almost like green kind of chocolate mint.
I get that mint definitely, and crisp. That's a good word.
Yeah, it's nice. I like
Yeah.
it. It's very different than the other ones that we've had.
Yeah, it is. When I first tried this whiskey, it kicked my ass. It was tossing me around the room. It's like, this is just so intense. It's like a violent act. This is just so aggressive and over the top. And like they're trying to prove a point. This isn't something that's supposed to be nice and explore. This is something that takes you behind the woodshed and just tears into that ass. After 2 or 3 years, I circled back to Brimstone from Balcones.
Oh.
Texas. Hey.
Yes,
Texas.
right over in Waco. I tried it again. It's like, what was I going on about? This is so like rich and vibrant and lovely.
I love it. I would go buy a bottle of this.
It's actually corn whiskey.
Interesting.
It's roasted blue corn. It's Texas scrub oak smoked.
Hey.
Nobody
what's
does
up?
that. Nobody does that.
Yo, it's really good. I like it a lot. I'm very impressed and very proud to be a Texan. I just love that there's some attention being paid to the mash because
yeah.
that's what the whiskey is made of. And like tea, when we're talking about tea, we're paying all the attention to the leaf because that's 100% of what the tea is.
Yeah.
Right.
No process, not as intensive as like whiskey. But this is made of this organism, this plant.
Right.
And that plant matters. Is it some Monsanto GMO corn or is it some heirloom corn that's been roasted and treated with some kind of artisan process? And I think that comes through. To me, personally, I actually have a strong affinity for this one out of all the ones we've tried. It's probably the best Texas whiskey that I've had. If you ask me, the way to make a thing better is by making the quality of the ingredients that make it up better.
Yeah.
Craft is great and craft is important, and you can't polish a turd.
We're back to poop.
Back to poop. I might have some things to explore and reflect on. I don't know, but Vino Veritas. But my point is that good tea is good because people took care of the plants that grew it. But you can't take craft and apply it to poorly grown plants and expect something to be good. And whiskey is plants. It's made out of whatever you make the mash out of is a plant and it grows in the ground.
I wanted to end with something that's probably in my top 3 favorite whiskeys at the moment. If you don't like this whiskey, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Got it. Noted. Oh, look at you. What's that?
Yeah, so if you're getting to nose, if you give it just a little bit more surface area on the glass, then you have more of a source of those aromas spread around the glass instead of just that little pocket of liquid on the bottom.
Dude, I'm here for the stunts though. I'm here for the stunts. I love these. That's great. That works. It does something. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm
nice.
smelling like yeast and like bread dough.
I see the bread dough
Sour.
and like
Sourdough.
fresh like linens, like fresh linen and like
Okay.
fresh bread,
That
something
made it
like
better.
warm and kind of moist and
Yeah.
like fresh and clean.
Yeah.
It actually has a tea note. I'm not trying to call everything tasting like tea.
Sure.
But sometimes that is a note. And this all is like the very familiar red tea, like what we call black tea note. Like Lipton is a red tea in Chinese. It's
Okay.
a red tea.
Yeah.
We could say black tea.
Are you finding the tiniest accent of like a sharp, salty cheese?
Okay.
I could see that.
Yes.
I could
A
see
little
that.
thread
Yeah.
right through there.
That is the cool thing about stuff like this.
Yes.
That is the really cool thing.
Okay,
It's got-
that actually kind of shifted the way that I was perceiving this.
Okay.
Hey.
It made me like the smell a little bit more, thinking of it as more of a cheese than a sour
Okay.
something else.
Yeah.
I almost get like Cheez-Its. Now that you said cheese, I'm getting like Cheez-Its, like the cracker.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
like Lunchables, like a nice buttery cracker with some yellow cheese on top of it.
Yeah.
Accent, a thread of like a sharp, salty cheese, and then there is a floral honey layer, and then there's kind of like this general briny quality. This is actually an Isla whiskey.
Hey.
Yep. This is the Port Charlotte Heavily Peated from Bruichladdich. Most people are going to be familiar with the classic Lottie or Octomore. Yeah, this is a beautiful, subtle, smoky whiskey, and for me, it is a good representation of what peat can do. It doesn't always have to be this smoked black pepper ham, savory.
It's really nice. Like again, I keep using this word restrained, and probably only in contrast to the ones we started with.
Yeah.
But actually, it's a great way to do a whiskey tasting, if I'm going to be really honest, because it gets that alcohol obstacle, that alcohol barrier out of the way right away.
Yeah.
And now like nothing tastes strong or
Yes.
harsh to me. It's all very, I keep saying restrained because what I'm really tasting is the profile of the whiskey.
That should be 100 proof. It's still 50%.
Yeah, no, and it
Yep.
tastes chill as hell. And I
Yep.
am just, like I said, I'm not gonna drive for a while. I'm gonna chill here for a little while, but
What's happening with you? What's cool and interesting?
lots of stuff's happening with Sohan besides being intoxicated right this second, which is unusual.
We did it, Banana.
Yes.
Yeah,
job.
cheers,
Yes.
thank you. Also, it's May, which means it is AAPI History Month, and we're doing an event. It's gonna be on May 21st, the Dragon Food Festival. It's at Native Hostel. And then all month long, we're gonna be doing Instagram Lives, West China Tea, all one word on Instagram, with different AAPI creators, musicians, artists, all kinds of different things.
Cool. So
Sick.
get us the links. We're gonna put them in the description down below.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
Thank you for
Seriously.
coming, Sohan. It's always
Absolutely.
a pleasure.
Yes.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
My pleasure.
I don't think you're gonna thank me for the last one.
Wah, wah.
Okay. On the nose, what do we find?
This is the troll whiskey.
You're ruining the moment.
It's gonna talk about poop again.
All right, on the nose.
Okay.
Are there any flavors that are jumping out? What is
Yes.
it like? What is the things that comes to mind?
Parmesan cheese and charcoal barbecuing.
Seagull guano.
Seagull guano.
Seagull guano.
Okay.
What's
That's
that?
kind of
It's seagull
close.
poop. I said I was going to talk about poop, but this
Yeah.
is a real
Wow.
tasting note. I didn't even think about it. But that's not a bad note. And if you like the ocean, if you like being on the boardwalk.
Ooh, there is some
I went to
ocean in
school
there.
in Santa Cruz, California.
Yeah.
Lots of seagull poop there. It's a very nostalgic smell for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They didn't vote this up. I substituted it in.
oh, you picked this.
Yeah.
You're the troll.
No,
okay.
it's me. Devil's Juice number 5.
They call it that, huh?
That is awful.
It's actually a distilled spirit specialty, so strictly speaking, it's not a whiskey.
It's kind of like tires.
All right, Whiskey Tribe, it's time to update our hardcore whiskey list. In the comments below, what is your favorite candidate for a whiskey that you think is hardcore, whatever that word means to you? We'll look at your suggestions, we'll put together a poll, and we'll put together a whole new hardcore list for upcoming episodes.